Solved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A Russian analyst has been arrested as part of a special counsel investigation.
Prosecutors said Igor Danchenko formed the core of Christopher Steele's dossier of unverified information about former President Trump and Russia. The special counsel appointed by the Trump administration to scrutinize the Russia investigation said Danchenko lied to the FBI about his sources, including one tied to the Clinton campaign. Some of the dossier's claims were part of an FBI application to wiretap a Trump campaign advisor. The indictment suggested the FBI might have treated the information differently had it known one of Danchenko's sources was partisan. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
The top earner in Hollywood will no longer use real guns on set.
We will not use real guns ever again.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson saying his production company, $7 is banning real guns on TV and movie sets going forward after the deadly shooting on the set of the Alec Baldwin movie Rust.
We are going to be using rubber guns, and we'll take care of it in post.
At the premiere of his upcoming Netflix action film Red Notice, Johnson said the tragic death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins has taught him that they need to
be smarter as we move forward. Be safer.
Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
SpaceX's next crew flight is off until at least next week, and NASA says it's debating whether to bring astronauts back from the International Space Station before launching their replacements into space. This is ABC News.
Your nose is the body's air filter, the first line of defense against airborne allergens, bacteria, and viruses. You wash your hands to protect your health. Now you can clean your nose with Navage. Online at Navage.com. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're paying too much. Switching to Pure Talk saves the average family over $800 a year. Just dial pound 250 and say Jill50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill50.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
How time flies when you're having fun, or at least trying to have fun. In 2020, we lost a season, and while we will never be able to get that back, the Molloy State Farm team is happy to be back on board with EDGYTIM and Coach Rodriguero as the title sponsor of the Pigskin Preview. So here's to the players, the coaches, and the parents who have been waiting for this moment. Give it your best effort. Make it memorable. And on Monday, give the Molloy State Farm team a call at 815-463-5800 to get our best effort at saving you money.
Are you struggling to keep up with your kids, your finances, your insurance, your life? Then let State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen help you simplify and get to a better state. Because with Michelle Kerfin handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else and more money too. Because adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and actually help you get ahead. Call State Farm agent Michelle Kerfin in Homer Glen and get to a better state with State Farm. Find Michelle online at insurewithmichelle.com.
Join Spartans Hockey Club of Lockport, Lamont, Bolingbrook, and Romeoville High Schools as they make a difference in the community with the Fall Food Drive. Help them stock the pantries this holiday season by dropping off your non-perishable food donations at Mars Medical of New Lenox. Mars Medical is located on the north side of Route 30 between Cedar and Vine Road in New Lenox. If you'd like to support the Spartans Hockey Club Food Drive but can't make it to Mars Medical, simply call Mars Medical at 815-462-9339 and they'll arrange a time to come pick up your donation from your home. Donations collected will benefit food pantries in Bolingbrook, Lamont, and Lockport. Again, non-perishable food donations can be dropped off at Mars Medical, located on the north side of Route 30 between Cedar and Vine Road in New Lenox, or by calling 815-462-9339 to arrange to have the donations picked up from your home. Join the Spartans hockey team and make a difference in the community. And remember, life is better when we stick together.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. Give your walls a new look with Zinsser Smart Coat. It's an advanced paint and primer in one with ultra smooth coverage, superior adhesion, and exceptional washability. Interior flat paint is 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through November 6th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere. From County Line Road to the Indiana line, from Reed Road to Boughton Road, football is king. High School Football 2021 on 1340 WJOL.
Well, football certainly does run through the veins of everyone here in 1340 WJOL, along with some coffee, some leftover Halloween candy, and, well, you name it, it's flowing through the veins. Welcome, everybody, to the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's news, talk, sports. EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, and the coach breaks out a bag of Halloween candy.
Well, this is for Evan when he comes.
Bam!
Because he wasn't here. He was not here last week. He was on vacation.
He had an infestation problem that he went and got taken care of. It's about every 6 months or so.
Yes.
So, again, Evan, the Sheriff Bredesen, is back in the studio this week, and we are back on the live video stream via YouTube, so we're glad to be back in full capacity. Glad to have you along for the next 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very busy show, but always have a little bit of time for you. First hour, Coach, first of all, before we get into the fun and frivolity, this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by our State Farm agents, Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
WJOL Game of the Week, not one, but two. We got two of them this week. Starts Friday, 6:05, Friday Night Lights with Evan, then followed by Class 4A action. I typed that up wrong, Joe.
That's okay.
4A action, Wheaton Academy taking on Joliet Catholic Academy at ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium. 7 p.m. kickoff sharp. So that will be the game, the Friday game of the week. But no, we come back for more. Saturday, 5:05 special edition of Saturday Night Lights with Evan Bredesen, followed by the Class 8A Round 2 battle between Rob Zavonar's Lincoln Way East Griffins and Matt Harding's Minooka Indians. That is a 6 p.m. kickoff on the reservation, Joe. We are also covering that game, and I also to be happy to be covering that game as well. Joe,
yes, sir.
2 Saturdays we're spending with each other.
Yes.
How exciting is that?
Unusual.
Area-wise, I think we fared relatively well here. By the way, our guests tonight are going to be Jeff Reintz from Wilmington, Brett Coy from Lamont, and as we usually do come playoff time, we're going out of the area to talk to some opposing coaches. Going to talk to Chad Hetland from Glenbard West. So Lockport Nation, put your ears on. You're going to find out plenty of stuff about your opposing team on Saturday night in the Glenbard West Hitters. We are also going to talk to Dave and Sarah, head coach of Maine South. The Hawks will host, Joe, Plainfield North. So you Plainfield North folks, come on in about 7:25. We're going to sit. We're going to have some cocoa. We're going to learn a lot about the Maine South Hawks.
Yes.
And that's the guest list. Joe, area fared generally pretty well. We wound up with 9 teams advancing.
Yes.
Surprises for you?
From our area?
I think we kind of agreed. I think Minooka was the one that we had worried about the most. That's a nice win for the Indians.
Yeah, it is. And the game that we did on Friday night with Plainfield Central, it was down to the wire, and Yorkville scored with 50 seconds to go.
Yeah.
To eke out the victory there.
Had a feeling that'd be close, though.
Yeah, it was too much time on the field in the second half for their defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Plainfield Central ran a 90-yard kickoff return, but it seemed like their defense was on there the whole second half. But again, it was a great year for Plainfield Central and Rob, and hopefully he'll keep things going.
So I think Rob Keene has to be one of the candidates for Coach of the Year.
Yes, I agree.
In this area for sure. We'll get into it. I think next week we'll start previewing a little bit of Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, some various awards I think we should start throwing about in the area. So again, the area games this weekend, Class 8A, as we mentioned, our Saturday game of the week. Lincoln Way East at Minooka. Joe, it's one of those, and we talked on the afternoon rush with Evan. You know, I've said this before. Is this year to get Lincoln Way East?
If you're going to get them, this is definitely the year. Their quarterback got hurt against Lockport. But again, defense never rests at Lincoln Way East.
Yeah.
And they've got a very good defense. But again, Minooka is at full strength. And this is why it's going to be a very competitive, I think, a low-scoring game.
Yeah, both well coached. And as we talked about, too, there's some similarities here. We talked about offensively how Rob and Coach Pelissari made an adjustment about midseason. They took Troy Johnson out at wide receiver, put him in running back, and definitely gave them a different look and a different feel on offense. And he's had a lot of success coming out of the backfield. Minooka, same thing. They ended up moving Malik Armstrong from wide receiver, putting him at running back. And it's really given that Minooka running game some power and some speed as well. And combine that with their offensive line, which is a younger group. There's a positive move for Minooka. Right. So, again, there's some similarities there. And I agree. I just don't think this is going to be a real high-scoring game.
No.
I really don't.
Turnovers. And I think it's big. The quarterback play for both teams is going to be huge here.
Well, you hate to talk about, managing teams, but that's exactly what's going to have to happen. Right. I mean, to me, it's going to be field position. It's going to be special teams. Who wins the punting game? Who wins, the field position game? And you've just got to play clean. And a couple of turnovers here or there, it could be everything, Joe.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be definitely hard hitting for sure.
Yeah. And I think what gets overlooked sometimes too, we talk about Lincoln Way East and their atmosphere. You've been to the new Minooka Stadium. When you're on that sideline, that thing is loud.
Right.
It is loud.
Because for the first time ever, it's enclosed a little bit.
Yeah.
And the sound.
Well, and you have the school and it's bouncing back off the school, and it really does make for a lively atmosphere. Right. So I'm really excited about that game. We talked about the 7:00 hour. We'll get into when we have Chad Hetland on. Glenbard West at Lockport. Joe, Lockport, we were both there Saturday night. I mean, this was game plan par excellence for George, and they followed it to a T and rolled to a nice win over Lions.
Right. I thought seeing Lockport, I think for the fourth time this year, this was the best offensively I've seen them. Mr. Timashek, I thought, had a great game throwing the football.
Yeah.
And Scott said it very well. He stands over everybody. I mean, offense, defensive lineman, and he sits in that pocket, and you don't put any pressure on him, he'll pick anybody apart. He will. I mean, he's that good of a quarterback.
O-line does a really nice job. Yep. I think they've gotten better as the year has gone on. I think especially in the run game, they've gotten better for sure.
Right.
So again, they're just playing well.
And I thought the front four defensively had a great game.
It's been good all year. It really has. Yeah. It's been a strength for that. I wrote that this week. It's been I think a big strength really from the beginning for that team is that front is very, very good. And defensively, they're very good. Plainfield North, they get a win over a very good Evanston team. Joe, I know that if we have any questions on Evanston, you have a full roster and starters.
Go ahead. Tell the story.
We'll talk about it later. We'll save that when we have a little bit more time. But again, going on the road, taking on a power, an 8A power in Maine South, and we're going to have Dave and Sarah on as well in the 7:00 hour. We'll talk a little bit about the Maine South Hawks as well. But again, I think a nice win certainly for Plainfield North over a good Evanston team, a team that Maine South plays every year in the same conference. So I think both are going to have a little bit more of a comfort level going into this. But, I mean, for the most part, they don't know really anything about each other.
No, they don't.
That makes it interesting for me.
And again, Maine South does what Maine South does. They throw the ball. They'll spread you out. They have a good running back. We'll talk to Coach and Sarah, later on tonight. But they can come at you with a variety of receivers and running backs.
How much sleep has Lamont defensive coordinator Willie Hayes gotten this week?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably burning the midnight oil right now.
So there we go again. The Lamont football team.
I'm still going to call them the Indian.
Are on the road Friday, which I think surprised a few people,
Yes.
taking on Springfield and Rashad the Train Rochelle.
And if anybody
Can they hold them to 94?
I thought it was a basketball score. I said, this got to be a mistake.
Start 7:00 kickoff ended at 11:30.
94-72.
11:30, Joe.
Was it 7-on-7?
And the funniest part about the story, no one talks about, it was 21-6 at the end of the first quarter. So they ended up scoring 88 points in 3 quarters. How does that happen?
I don't know, but I'd love to see the tape of that game.
I don't think there was any stream. I don't think anyone covered it.
I just, like I said, I thought it was a mistake because, scores on the internet in Max Preps in Illinois, they tend to make mistakes with scores
Just
sometimes.
a tad, but no, it was legit.
It was legit.
It was legit.
more
And
I dug it
again,
up.
we've talked about Springfield. We talked about Rashad Rochelle.
Yep.
He's a tremendous athlete. I think I made the comparison, and we'll see what Coach Coy thinks about it in a little bit. I compared him kind of to a modern day Antoine Randall.
Yes.
Does a little bit of everything. Throws it really well, runs it really well. Very dangerous player. And it's in Springfield on the marsh known as Memorial Field. So that is going to bring
that
a
field is
whole
absolutely
other
terrible.
element.
People back in the day, if you remember Richards Field about this time of the year, this field is worse.
That is, it's funny you mentioned Richards. That is the first team I thought about Friday when I'm standing in sideways rain at South Elgin in a mud game, thinking, boy, how happy is Tony Sheehan right now
Oh, man.
to not have to be playing in the middle of that.
Oh, gosh.
Unbelievable. Morris gets a nice win to advance, taking on a Morton team that runs the ball a lot, Joe. And I'm sorry, if it involves a team that runs the ball a lot, I always like Morris's chances.
Yeah, they have a common opponent.
Yep.
Morton, one of their 2 losses. One is the LaSalle Peru 28-21. They got beat by Washington, who's still in the playoffs. Yeah, they like to run the ball. Seth Glatz has over almost 2,500 yards. And that kid is a very good running back. And their quarterback, Lane Kaufman, is a run-pass option. But I definitely agree with you. If you're going to try to pound Morris, they're not going to do that.
No, Morris will be ready.
It's not going to happen.
No, Morris will be ready to try to take that kid out of his game plan a little bit. So we will see. Class 4A, Joliet Catholic. Again, the Hilltoppers, a nice win to advance. Not really challenged, but I don't think anyone thought they would really get challenged too much. I heard a lot of freshmen and sophomores played in the second half.
Right.
Wheaton Academy with the win. I don't think necessarily that was a shock. I think the final score was a bit of a shock.
Yes, I think there was some interceptions. Again, being behind, Coach Laughlin had to throw the football maybe a little bit more, and not having Ashton Harvey in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just when you have to throw the ball if you're Coal City. Not that the quarterback can't do a good job, but
It's not really their
it's
DNA.
not what you do.
Yeah.
It's not what you do.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So, again, it's Coal City. They'll reload. Coach will already will have them right there.
Yes.
3A, Reed Custer rolls. And again, they get another Chicago Public League team in Clark. But man, Clark's a little different from maybe some other Chicago Public League teams. And let's face it, small enrollment, Chicago Public League teams got rolled for the most part.
Yes.
Clark a little different, though. Clark a little bit bigger, physical team from what I'm hearing. I still like Reed Custer's
So do I. I
chances,
mean, they're
especially at home.
Their only loss was a 17-16 to Peyton Prep. And I looked over their schedule, the conference they play in, they absolutely ripped everybody. So I think level of competition
going to be different.
is going to be very difficult. That's why I think Reed Custer has a great
Wilmington gets the win. And to their benefit, I think, go on the road Saturday. And again, it's never easy playing in Sterling. They take on Sterling, Newman, Central Catholic. Those home games are played at Sterling High School, by the way. We'll talk to Jeff Reintz really at 6:25. We'll get into this. But, Joe, everywhere I've gone that have been high school fans, and I haven't gone to a lot of places this week because I've been tied down in the dungeon, but the ones that I have talked to are all buzzing about Wilmington, and they're buzzing about what potentially could lie ahead in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's
we won't mention that to Coach when we have him, but we're sure going to talk about it after.
Well, we can do that because we're us, and they could definitely play Bishop Mack, and as we talked about.
You talked about it.
Well, we can.
I know.
That's Coach
We're
Andy's
allowed.
last year, and that's so.
Oh, huge. I mean, and again, what benefits that game if it goes down? It's in Wilmington.
Oh, it's at Wilmington. Oh, without a doubt.
That should be our 1340.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
We'll see. All right, let's step aside. We'll take a break. When we come back, the veteran head coach, the dean of the coaches of the WJOL listening area, Jeff Reintz from Wilmington, will talk Wilmington Wildcat football here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Harley-Davidson, the most iconic motorcycle brand in the world. Conrad's Harley-Davidson, the most stunning dealership in the Midwest. One of Chicago's oldest family-owned dealerships, over 37 years in Will County. Now, before you buy anything Harley-Davidson, motorcycles, parts, service, or apparel, hit the brakes and make a U-turn. Come check out the home of the world-famous Vault and the VIP motorcycle purchase experience. Now, wait, did I just say world-famous Vault? And what is this VIP experience? You got to grab your sunglasses, twist the throttle, and roll on into Joliet, Illinois. It doesn't matter if you're 10 miles away or 500 miles away. Get your tailpipe down here. Conrad's Harley-Davidson, Highway 55 at exit 253. Make sure you hit the internet at conradshd.com and follow us on Facebook, too. Conrad's Harley-Davidson, redefining cool.
For many living on the streets of Joliet and Will County this winter, food will be a luxury, and that can result in life-threatening hunger.
November, December was the worst 2 months for me being homeless because, one, I didn't have no place to go. Family wouldn't let me in the house. I want to stay close to some food or something, and it was bad.
But a meal at Morningstar Mission can be so much more than just a meal. That's the case for someone like Kelvin, because someone just like you provided meals and care with a gift. And that was the first step to him joining the mission's life-changing program and ending his battle with homelessness.
I took that meal and then 2 weeks later, I'm in the kitchen in the program, working in the kitchen.
It can all start with your gift of just $2.48 per meal and care. How many men, women, and children can you provide for at Morningstar Mission? Give today at morningstarmission.org.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Keeping your tax information safe keeps your business safe. That's why Greg Severson at Cordano, Severson & Associates goes above and beyond to keep your business tax information private. This includes keeping everything he does local to our community. There's no outsourcing services overseas like the big firms do, or storing sensitive documents in places where online hackers have easy access. And Greg Severson has taken multiple measures behind the scenes to protect his clients from tax identity fraud. Give yourself peace of mind for your business. Call Greg Severson at Cordano, Severson & Associates. Beyond keeping your business safe from tax hackers, Greg will set you up for the ever-changing business tax landscape to give you the best tax advantages. Call Cordano, Severson & Associates, a firm you can trust and your business can afford. Co-founder and proud member of the Will by Local Alliance. Do you have tax prep experience but are tired of making the commute downtown? Cordano Severson is hiring qualified tax professionals. Inquire today by calling 815-744-1900. That's 815-744-1900.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, Evan, the sheriff, Bredesen back from his infestation problem, and we're happy about that. And glad to have him back on board. Hello, everybody watching on YouTube. Wanted to make sure I lift the curtain there so you can see our smiling faces. But glad to have everybody there. Joe, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Has anyone ever named anything after you?
Maybe a porta-john or a bathroom, maybe, but
That would be the ultimate for me. I mean, there would be no better than that.
I'm pretty sure North Central College named an exit sign after me to remind everyone of the time when I finally left and didn't come back.
And how many thousands of dollars did you have to donate to get that to happen?
More than I wanted to.
Well, our next guest, and again, I'm probably the least surprised that people in the world is Joe and I, but seems like Wilmington decided to name its stadium Jeff Reintz Stadium at Howard Becker Field. And Jeff, I got to imagine, I don't know if you knew that was coming, but my God, it's well-desered. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Jeff.
Well, hey guys, I really appreciate it. As you guys well know, that's a true team effort that, sometimes the head coach gets a little too much credit, but the other thing with that though, too, is, I'm glad they, Howie Becker was the coach before me, and I really wanted to make sure, I'm glad that both our names are on that field, and that's something I'm very proud of. But like I said, a true team effort, a lot of great players. I've been very lucky and great coaches, but I appreciate you guys saying something.
Yeah, we could not let that go without talking about it, because as we said, it's incredibly deserved. Well, here we are again. We're running late in the playoffs and we're talking to you, so that's always a positive. Sterling Newman Central Catholic. I know that let's face it, you never have an easy draw ever. I mean, that's just par for the course.
That's right.
And here's this will show you, Jeff, how twisted our minds get at this time of the year. When I saw in class 3A, when I saw Byron, and I thought, you remove Reed Custer and you put Wilmington, and that's Wilmington's bracket right there.
Yeah.
Because eventually you're running into Byron in 3A. You just know it.
Yep. No, guys. And a lot of people with us, we were our enrollment's down a little bit this year, so we dropped down to 2A, and we get a 3A draw, and a lot of great football in 2A. And that starts with Sterling Newman Catholic, who is the main school in 2A and 3A. This will be our third time playing them.
Yeah,
we played them twice in the 3A playoffs, and we've split on that. We beat them once, they beat us once. Both great games, and we expect this one to be a great game too. They got a good football team.
I think for the fans that have never made the trip out there, that is such a cool setting and a great facility to play in at Sterling.
You know what? I've never been there.
Oh, it's great.
On all the 27 years of coaching, guys, I've heard about it many a time, but it's an honor to be going over there. And that's the great thing about the playoffs. We get new people coming to our place, but we get to go new places, and we're going to a great football tradition in them. And but this is what the football playoffs are all about.
Is that? And again, I mean, you mentioned the amount of times you played Newman before, but is that probably the biggest benefit for being in 2A, that you're just going to see some different people for a change?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think, it's a great challenge going against Newman and against many teams. I mean, everybody that's still playing right now, you got a great challenge in front of you. There's no gimmies from here on out. And I just think, and the last time we played them guys was 2012. So Mike Poposi, who's a Hall of Fame coach there, he's retired, but boy, a lot of similarities. Great coach kids, hard-nosed kids. And hey, it's always good to go play a program like that and measure your program up against theirs.
Jeff, first of all, congratulations on the award. As Edgy said, well deserved. I got to ask you first about how is Caden Humphreys doing?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He got MCL and ACL. Right. He had surgery, and he's doing good. He got hurt there, guys. Just to review, he got hurt in the Coal City game, our third game of the year. We're hoping that he can play some baseball. We'll wait and see on that, but I know his recovery is doing well right now.
And the quarterback, to me, and I mean, again, in your offense has to run the show. And Ryder Mentz, I believe, or Meets.
Yep.
It looked like, again, he's thrown into the game against Coal City that we did, and a little bit shaky. His progression has to be at the point now where he's just the regular starting quarterback now.
You know, it really is. He's really stepped into that role and done a heck of a job for us. You know, he's got to make the you know, he makes changes, audibles at the lines for us to make sure that, you know, we're getting our run game going where we're supposed to. He's gotten more confident, you know, as the weeks have gone on, and I'm really proud of him. He's not only a good football player, but a good basketball player. We, you know, obviously at a small school, you want your multi-athlete kids, multi-sport kids, and he's one of them. I'm happy for him. He got put into a tough spot. You know, as bad as I feel for Humphreys and the way that went, I feel terrible for him, but I'm as happy for Ryder. And I know Humphreys is right.
Jeff, you there?
I got done a real nice job.
Yeah. Yes.
Jeff, I've got to imagine this week has probably done nothing but help try to get your field to recover a little bit.
Yeah, no, it really did, guys. We, you know, I really wanted to play last Friday, and they pushed it. We couldn't. Chicago Julian came down Saturday, and kind of a little bit of a blessing. We had our field dry out a little bit during the day Saturday, and so we beat it up a little bit, but not, you know, not too bad at all. So we're very fortunate there.
What's the process? Is there a process after a game like that? Do you guys roll it out? Kind of, how do you guys handle that?
I got a great custodial staff that takes care of all that stuff. And there's one person they don't want involved in it, and that would be me. And so
you just show up.
You know, I come in with my ideas. I've done that for a long time. In my early years, I always told them, hey, I think we should do this and this. And the custodial staff at Wilmington High School has who I have total trust in, do a great job of keeping that field up to par, and those guys do a tremendous job. But it's all the time, taking care of it all the time. I don't think people realize, you know, how much work it takes to go into keeping the field so it can be playable into the playoffs, into mid-November, hopefully.
So what can your fans expect from Newman on Saturday? Is it the same old Newman, or is it a little bit different of a look now with the new coach?
You know what? I got the same Newman. A lot of similarities. You got a few different things, but I tell you what, we mirror each other. We love to run the football, and it's going to come right at you. I think something both teams got to be careful of, guys, is how many possessions are you going to get offensively? You know, that clock's going to be running with everybody running the ball, and so you got to make those count. Field position, you know, special teams in games like this, you guys know, are huge. But you know, I got a team in Newman that has a couple losses. I know they went through some injuries.
Yep.
And, you know, and I heard, you know, hey, they're going through injuries and that during the season. And then they come out and they beat Kewanee in the last game of the year. Kewanee was undefeated. And, boy, does that raise your eyebrows. And they're playing really good football right now. So we got our hands full, no doubt about it. But, you know, hey, you're in the second round of the playoffs. You know, it's supposed to be that way. And we're looking forward to the challenge of going over there.
Yeah, there's no doubt. All right, my friend. Well, glad we're able to get you on for a little bit. Again, just congratulations. And does this mean like you can get in for free now too?
Well, as of today, that's the way it is. You know how that can change, guys. But, hey, I really appreciate you bringing it up, and thanks for having me on. You guys do a great job, and the Joliet area football-wise is you know, is a great place, and for you guys to include me into that and Wilmington football, we really appreciate that, guys.
Oh, we'll never forget you guys. You know that by now. That's never happening. Nope. You're part of this dysfunctional family, like it or not. So
that's right.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, no problem, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, Jeff, go get it.
Jeff, good luck.
All right, Jeff Reintz joining us from Wilmington. Yeah, buddy, you're in thick as thieves, whether you like it or not.
Oh, no.
815-254-7300. We're getting a lot of response on the YouTube chat. Mike Shipman, actually someone I know, talking about Lamont and Springfield, wants to know if the under-overs is 130.
Oh, it's going to be under.
It's going to be under. We're going to talk about that one a little bit. Yep.
I was just going to ask Coach Joe if the Lamont defensive staff has been sleeping at all this week.
I asked that question. First question of the show.
Coach Hayes, he's had some sleepless nights, I would imagine.
I feel bad for the poor scoreboard operator at that Springfield Peoria game. That guy had to be tired.
11:30. 7 o'clock kick. 11:30.
Oh, that's when it ended.
11:30. Everyone around the state is like, what happened to the Springfield Rock Island score? And some guy was at the game said, we're still playing. We're in the third quarter. It was like 10-15. We're in the third quarter.
I thought it was a Lamont kickoff at that point with how late it was.
No. And then Mike again obviously wants to talk about Springfield and Lamont, and again brings up Springfield area is certainly excited for what potentially could be a Leonard Bowl semifinal in 4A. I don't see any reason to doubt that, honestly, in 4A.
Yep.
In the lower part.
And for people who don't know what we're talking about with Class 4A, there's a possible semifinal where Sacred Heart Griffin out of Springfield, coached by Ken Leonard, may have to face off against his son, Derek, who's the head coach at Rockhurst. They've both won multiple state titles at their respective schools. Yep. It's a big rivalry game during the regular season when those teams have played one another in the past. A state semifinal game, I cannot imagine what that atmosphere would be like, because Rockhurst
it would be
games.
comparable. I guess I would say it would be comparable to maybe JCA Morris.
That's what I would say.
From an intensity standpoint, plus you've got that public-private thing down there. They know each other really well. They know, obviously the family connection, but even the communities, they know each other. Yeah, that's kind of where I would compare it. It would be that level down there for sure. Hey, our good friend Mike Guglielmucci joining us wants to know about Minooka at East, Joe. He demands it. He also lives in Shanahan, by the way. So
he's your neighbor.
I know. He lives 3 houses down from me.
As we talked about earlier in the show, I think Minooka has a good chance.
I do.
I really do, Mike.
I do.
I like where they're at right now. There's, as I said before, they are on a little bit of a roll right now. They're healthy first time since week 1. And they're
Mike's going into the shop right now, firing up the quarterfinal T-shirts for the Minooka community. Not so fast, Mike. Not so fast. Don't get at that right now.
Wait till about 10 o'clock.
I mean, for me, when it comes to Minooka has as good of a shot as they've ever had, as we've been talking about, to beat Lincoln Way East. Can they do 2 things? Can they eliminate the silly penalties, and can they eliminate the bad turnovers? Because it seems in big games this, we've seen them 2 steps forward and then they take a step back.
And you know why we emphasize that in this game? Because those are 2 things that Lincoln Way East seldom, if all, ever does.
Right.
Because they are that well coached.
Yes.
All they do is execute, whether they've got great talent, young talent, or no talent. They find a way.
Yes.
So again, you can't count them out without a doubt.
You can't get behind the sticks if you're Minooka. You can't. If you get it to 2nd and 5, you can't have a false start and go to 2nd and 10. You have to.
Yes.
You have to stay in front of the sticks the entire game.
I agree.
My guy from Batavia, said Jay's out there giving us a shout out on the YouTube stream. That is where, Joe, I will be tomorrow evening. Mount Carmel hosting Batavia. Guys, I think probably the elite game, certainly on Friday. Maybe one of the elite games for the round 2 of the playoffs.
There's going to be some hitting at that game.
Oh, yeah.
Both of those teams incredibly physical, but I think the thing that's deceptive about both of those teams, especially Batavia this year, Batavia's got some speed this year, and they traditionally have not been a speed team in the past, but they've got some guys on the outside that can make plays and give Mount Carmel trouble.
Well, here's Batavia's got depth at running back. They've got depth at linebacker. They have a very good linebacker core that's young. Jack Sadowski, Tyler Janzi. And again, Bartels is the kid that transferred in. I believe he was at Bartlett. Now this year he's at Batavia. That's a great linebacker core. And
they're always well coached.
Oh, yeah, and you're playing at Mount Carmel. So
is that at Mount Carmel or at Gately?
At Mount Carmel.
Wow.
No, they don't play at Gately anymore. They're done with Gately.
Oh, they're completely done with Gately now.
Yes,
oh, wow. I guess I didn't realize. I knew they had their own stadium, but I didn't realize they didn't play at Gately at all.
Best move they ever made. You talk to anyone from Mount Carmel, they'll tell you it was the smartest move they ever made was building that stadium.
Well, how many times, especially in the playoffs, would they have to play weird days, weird times, simply because of how many teams needed to use that facility?
Yeah, it's a great move. All right, we got to wrap up. We're going to take a break and come back. We are going to talk Lamont Springfield. We are going to talk to Brett Coy from Lamont. You are listening to the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Got a problem with your car? Here's a chance to talk to the experts. Listen in this Thursday at 9:35 to Car Talk with the experts from the service department at Darcy Buick GMC. Call in with your questions about any vehicle and get honest, experienced answers about your car. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday at 9:35 a.m. Brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Right here at 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
So you're getting some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered. Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They are a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reducheneinc.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
You have the ideas, the tenacity, and the follow-through. UC Bank's experts are here to help with the capital. With deep knowledge and trusted guidance, UC will help you prepare a comprehensive financial business plan that boosts your livelihood and keeps your business successful for years to come. UC Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
If you are a business in need of the most reliable cleaning company, then look no further than Family Ties Cleaning. Family Ties is trustworthy, easy to work with, and they tackle the tough jobs that most cleaning companies stay away from. Let Family Ties take away the worry of keeping your business clean so that you can focus on everything else. Family Ties offers floor maintenance, move-in, and out cleanups, as well as special services to help keep the viruses down. Give Family Ties a call today at 815-342-9874. Family Ties, the cleaning that brings us together.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The Armstrong and Getty Show poses the question.
Can you be informed? Can you be up on the news of the day and the issues without being bored?
We say yes, you can. The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Not just boring, biased political talk. The Armstrong and Getty Show is entertaining, informative, with political commentary, observations on local, national, and international news, and reflections on social issues. Weekdays at 10 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the Coach Joe Rodriguero, and Evan the Sheriff Brennison. Glad to have you with us. Joel fully sporting the area teams. The Joliet Catholic hat on with the Lamont football sweatshirt. Very, very nice sweatshirt.
Given to me by Coach Coy.
And I imagine right about this time, he's probably jonesing for some bubblegum ice cream and a serious run for Burger King for, was it the 2 Whoppers for $5? He's probably done that a couple times.
How's the Burger King Whopper attack? Bro?
He is the head coach of your Lamont Football Club. He is Brett Coy. Coach, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me on, you guys.
So you know the obvious because you stated the obvious when I contacted you to come on to the show. Oh boy, I know what you want to talk about.
Well, you got the Lamont people all heated up here, Ed.
Oh, just wait. I've only begun. I mean, you guys have played him a couple years ago, didn't you? Played Springfield, if I'm not mistaken.
We played them in our place.
Yeah.
I think it was first or second round at our place when this quarterback was a sophomore, and he was special then. We knew it then.
Has Willie slept at all?
Be honest with you, I think it's been a little bit of a rough week on all of us here. You know, it's definitely got us, no doubt concerned. It's definitely got us concerned, and that's not a bad thing. And be honest with you, at this time of the year, it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So we're excited for it. We know it's going to be a challenge. That kid and others are extremely special and scary, and we're looking forward to it.
Did you get out of last week okay, health wise?
Yeah, we did.
Good.
That's without a doubt, that's the one good thing about getting being a high seed and getting a good draw first round. So we had a lot of young kids play and get some playoff experience, as well as had the opportunity to get our ones out of there pretty quick.
I know over the weekend, and I was thrilled to see this, and I know you were as well. Albert Kanikas gave Northwestern a commitment for a preferred walk-on, and wow, what a story, and what a great way for that story to finish, because Fitz, they are excellent with the preferred walk-on program. I mean, it is, you're just not getting fed a line. You definitely have an opportunity to wind up on scholarship there, and Albert as well as anyone, and it's a great story, and I think he has a real chance of sticking there.
I truly do. I don't think people even begin to realize what they're going to get unless you actually have him. And to be honest with you, it was probably pretty similar with us too. I watched him play when he was in Pop Warner, and he was pretty special then. But he's shined above and beyond what I thought he would be at this time, and I think he's gonna. It sounds sort of silly, but I was just thinking about that on the way home, and he's going to be. I could see him putting on another 10, either easy 10, 20 pounds, and he's already a load carrying the football, and he's just going to get stronger and faster because he knows no other way other than to work hard. So it's he's like you said. I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised, and I think he's going to have a pretty good career there.
Brett, give out a little secret here to my friend to my left and who's ever listening. Coach Coy, when he comes to school, he has a athletic bag, and it has so much
candy bars.
No. Clothes.
Okay.
I cannot believe he can pack a wardrobe in this bag. You're packing your long underwear now, aren't you, pal?
Oh, absolutely. Guess what I was doing right before I got on
packing the bag?
That's why I'm chuckling here is my wife actually, she was like, "What do you need here? What do you need?" She's always so helpful. And I said, "I need a new bag," and I think this was 2 or 3 days ago. And so I think she thought for Christmas. And then last night or 2 nights ago, I sort of pop it and, "What kind of bag you looking for?" And and I said, "When do you," she says, "When do you need it by?" And I said, "Well, for this trip." My other one sort of had it, and sure enough, the next day on the doorstep, I got a bag, and guess what I'm doing? I'm moving all my stuff from one bag to the other bag. And she looks at all the stuff I got pulled out, and she says, "I think I should order you an extra large one." How'd you get all that in there? So it's rather comical. So
his bag is almost like George Costanza's wallet.
It's almost like my car. I have everything I own in my car.
It's like George Costanza's wallet. He opens it up and go, boom. It's just, you don't want to, you want to stay away from Coach Coy's desk when he starts opening up that bag.
I'm going to defend Coach on this, okay? Because I have literally everything I own in my car. I could, if I got stuck in a blizzard or something, I could be very comfortable for about 72 hours, honestly. I have
had coaches laugh at me over and over. And then when we get to a cold game, guess who's dishing out clothes for people to wear and stay warm at games? Yeah.
Rain gear, boots, socks, winter coat, midwinter coat, ponchos. Joe, I'm telling you, after the show, I'll pop my trunk. You'll die laughing. I'm with you, Coach.
I probably got. Brett, I am wearing the sweatshirt you gave me last Friday. I stopped in to see the boys last Friday, and Brett handed this to me. So, will you? I said, "Yeah, I'll wear it." So I'll wear it on Thursday.
Yeah, the bill's coming. He'll take it out of your pension.
This is probably his from his bag, but I wear it proud for you guys for sure.
What's this $29.99 deduction on my pension check this week? What's that for?
That's that sweatshirt, Deb, that Brett gave me.
He's not supposed to have received that bill yet. Come on.
It's in the mail, right? And my check will be in the mail for you too.
So the other question I have going into, actually there's two, and I thought one was interesting. I think people are a little surprised you decided to play Friday. Was that just a continuity thing for you guys? You just wanted to continue on Friday?
I think we want to, as long as, it's always been, that's always been our thought process, is we want to stay on our regular schedule as long as we possibly can. And sooner or later, you guys know it, you end up bumping the Saturdays, and then you want to stay on your regular pattern on Saturdays. But as long as we can, we wanted to stay on Friday. And hats off to our administration on letting us out a little bit early so we can do that. And stay on our regular plan. And knock on wood, hopefully it's a good decision for us.
You're playing at Springfield. You're playing at Memorial Field. I'm going to guess it's not in real good condition because, as I told others, I was down there in week 8 when Springfield played Decatur MacArthur, and it was a quagmire. I mean, it was not in good shape, and I can't imagine with the weather. I'm sure you guys are prepared for it. Have you actually gone out on grass and worked a bit this week?
We be honest with you, we have not. We talked about it over and over. Okay. We have not. We stayed on the turf just trying to, with the belief of getting a good solid practice in, and but we have talked quite a bit about the turf surface, what type of shoes, and you guys know how it is. You talk till you talk about it over and over, but until you actually get there and see the surface and see what it is, I'm hoping our kids obviously have a couple different pairs of shoes that when we're able to get on at 6 for our I should say 6:30 for our specials, we're going to take the field there and see what type of footing we have and then make any type of changes that we need to.
You would think with high school football and cleats and everything else, the long cleats just like disappeared from the market.
Yes.
And there's still a lot of teams playing on grass. And wouldn't you think there'd still be kind of a market out there for that?
I'd be honest with you, I actually thought there was. And when we talked about, playing there, that's immediately the first discussion we had on Monday. And, obviously when we're doing specials, the quarterback and I get some goal line work and, hey, Peyton, did you get shoes? And right away he says, Coach, there's really nothing out there with screw-ons anymore.
Nope.
I said, you got to be kidding me. He says, there's really only one, I can't remember which, but one brand out there that actually still really carries them. And I couldn't believe it. But, and then, we chimed in with a couple of the other kids and they said the exact same thing. It's really difficult to find.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, hey, best of luck tomorrow night. Go get them. Tear it up.
Yes.
Do what you do. And I feel good. I feel good. Feel good about you.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge. So, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Brett.
Tell the boys I said, hey, good luck.
I will do that. Thanks. Have a good night.
You too. And we appreciate Brett Coy joining us. Yeah, I like their chances. I really do. I think as good as Rashad Rochelle is, and Joe, we've talked him up for a long time. Albert Kunickas is going to be real hard for them to slow down.
Yes.
I think teams have gashed them with the running game, and I think Albert's going to have a big, big game. And I think Coach Willie's going to have a big game as well.
Yes.
I think he's going to find a way just enough to slow him down. Let's face it, it's been done already. this
what I
year.
was going to say.
It's been done.
Yes.
So it's not like you're recreating a wheel. I think Willie will have that defense ready.
Yes.
They'll keep that kid in the pocket as much as possible. And Joe, I think a sloppy field benefits Lamont there.
It does. And like you said, they have a couple losses and they're beatable. And Lamont has not lost yet, and their defense is very good.
Just like that, hour one in the books. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere after ABC News. This is Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News, Talk Sports.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere.
Week 2 of the playoffs, WJOL has a doubleheader. Friday night, Class 4A. Joliet Catholic entertains Wheaton Academy. And on Saturday night, it's 6 and 8A grudge match between Minooka and Lincoln Way East, live from Minooka. High school football, the playoffs, presented by Tire Tracks USA.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340. When bad weather hits, 1340 WJOL is there for you.
Probably been mid-80s or so since we had something that caused this much damage. So this is a pretty significant event for us. We are incredibly fortunate. There is not a single reported injury.
The WJOL News team and meteorologist Rick DeMaio are here to give you watches, warnings, and the aftermath. We're your weather station, Joliet and Will County. We are 1340 WJOL. From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL, Joliet.
The Dave Ramsey Show, where common sense meets dollars and cents. Patrick in Texas says, my wife thinks we should have an emergency credit card. How can I explain to her that this is a terrible idea? Well, the last time on earth that you need to go into debt at 18% interest would be at a time when your family has an emergency. What you need is money. If you had $20,000 set aside for an emergency fund, you wouldn't need an emergency credit card, right?
He's back. Dave Ramsey on WJOL, weeknights at 6.
Hi, this is Kathy Carosa from the Pocus on Tour radio show. Bruce and I would like you to join us every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., right here on WJOL 1340 AM. Will County's News, Talk, and Sports.
Song of the cheering and a song of the cheer. Now the time you roll the barrel and barrel for the game's all here.
From the Abri Credit Union Studio, this is Will County's News Talk Sports, WJOL, Joliet.
But the Justice Department is telling the state of Texas over its new voting law.
The lawsuit claims the Texas law violates the U.S. Voting Rights Act by restricting voting booth help for people with a disability or who have trouble reading or writing. The Justice Department lawsuit also saying the Texas law says minor paperwork errors or omissions would result in the state throwing out mail-in ballots or request forms when those errors had nothing to do with the voter's ability to cast a ballot.
ABC's Andy Field in Washington. The House could vote as soon as tonight on President Biden's Build Back Better legislation, but some are saying not so fast.
Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm voting on because the text isn't set for the complete bill. And I also don't know how much this bill is going to cost taxpayers.
Florida Democrat Stephanie Murphy, who says she needs to see that final version and final price tag. A White House aide who traveled with President Biden to Europe remains in Scotland and in quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19. A group of Republican lawmakers, governors, and attorneys general are threatening to sue the Biden administration over the president's COVID vaccine mandate for larger workplaces. Gunfire near a Cancun resort sends guests fleeing.
When the gunfire erupted, guests at the Hyatt Ziva Riviera Cancun Resort were at the pool enjoying vacations. One American citizen telling ABC News he and others heard the popping noise of gunfire. They ran to their rooms, closing the drapes. They saw military moving in outside of their hotel, but they were told to stay in their rooms. A local attorney general says 2 drug dealer groups got into a confrontation and 2 members were killed.
ABC's Alex Stone. 2 16-year-old high school students from Fairfield, Iowa, have been charged with homicide in the death of a teacher whose body was found in a park. You're listening to ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
A new investigation by ESPN finds racism and sexism allegations over the past 17 years within the Phoenix Suns organization led by owner Robert Sarver. Senior writer Baxter Holmes.
More than 70 current and former employees interviewed by ESPN recounted conduct by Sarver they felt was inappropriate and misogynistic, including the use of the N-word and lewd comments made during staff meetings.
Through his legal team, Sarver denied using racially insensitive language or holding inappropriate conversations. The NBA has ordered an investigation. ESPN and ABC News are owned by the Walt Disney Company. In about 3 weeks, the Iran nuclear talks will be revived, but the regime remains hostile to the U.S.
Iranians trampling on and burning American flags, waving effigies of President Biden in Tehran. That as thousands mark the day 42 years ago when Iranians violently seized the U.S. Embassy and took Americans hostage. Chants of, quote, death to America and death to Israel rising again from the crowds at state-sponsored events canceled last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. All of this comes just a day after Tehran announced it will resume indirect talks with the U.S. in Vienna on November 29th to try to salvage the Iran nuclear deal. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
The Senate's approved Robert Santos as the next director of the Census Bureau, the first person of color to lead the agency. This is ABC News.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure, whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Daria Albany.
Hi, this is State Farm Agent John Wright. Every team knows the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I can help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score savings by combining your home and auto with me, State Farm Agent John Wright. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, John Wright, at 815-725-5052 today.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Modernize your home's lighting at Menards. Turn any recessed light into an energy-efficient LED downlight. Retrofit lights are dimmable, easy to install, and can change color temperatures. Pick up an 8-pack of 6-inch LED retrofit lights for just $14.99 after sale price and 11% off. That's $15 off. Get it now and update your lighting today. Good through November 6th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Student loan debt has been steadily increasing, affecting approximately 44 million Americans.
I know people that are planning to die with that debt.
Watch a new documentary from Ramsey Solutions, Borrowed Future, How Student Loans Are Killing the American Dream on Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV, or Google Play.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Your official home for Joliet and Will County sports is 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is hour number 2. Okay, I'll say it. Of the greatest high school football talk show in the world.
That's right.
I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to question it. If they do, who cares? We're back. Edgy Tim along with the coach, Joe Rodagaro, and Evan, the Sheriff Bredesen, spinning the dials. We appreciate you sticking around. Hour 1 in the books. And again, want to thank our sponsors, State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Game of the week is as follows. Friday Night Lights, 6:05 with Evan, followed by Class 4A Wheaton Academy at Joliet Catholic Academy. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. Saturday, bonus football for you, 5:05 Friday Night Lights with Evan, followed by Lincoln Way East at Minooka. But, Joe, I'm telling you, there's a monster of a game. Yes. Again, over in Lockport Saturday night. The Porters coming off that first round playoff win. They get another chance for a home game. They are hosting, well, the green and black monster coming in known as Glenbard West. And we are thrilled to have the head coach of Glenbard West on the phone, Chad Hetland. Chad, appreciate you joining us and welcome to Pigskin Preview.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Edgy.
This Lockport team, you know, again, as you well know, you're as aware of this stuff as anybody, really having a special year. You could kind of see this coming on since George took that program over. Honestly, Chad, it kind of reminds me a little bit of your start at Glenbard West. I see some similarities there for sure, where you kind of came in and breathed some new life in that program. I think that's kind of what George has done as well. Talk about that part of your career when you started at Glenbard West. And again, it wasn't like the program was down, but you seemed to kind of give it some energy when you came in.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for us back in 2007, it was just a right place, right time. There was a lot of really nice coaches that were already on the staff. And gosh, we inherited some really good football players. And, you know, we got lucky in a couple of games that first year and made the playoffs. And then we lost to a good Morgan Park team. And, you know, the kids caught that playoff fever. And then, you know, the next year we went to the state semis and lost a real close game to East St. Louis. And the third year we went to the state championship game. So, you know, for us, it was a matter of keeping, you know, our whole philosophy was play good defense and, you know, try to keep the game as close as possible and just move the chains on offense. And I think Lockport is very similar in that regard. They play great defense. They're so well coached, but a lot of times when you hear people say well coached, it doesn't mean they have talent. These guys are good. Their defensive line is the best that we've seen by far. Their defense flies the ball. Me being a defensive guy, I can appreciate other defenses. And like I said, they fit the run extremely well. And, you know, a lot of similarities in that regard to when, you know, we started to turned the program around at West, we were really sound defensively.
Coach, you're speaking about that third year you went to the state championship, and I was fortunate to do the game. I think it was Lincoln Way East you played, if I'm recalling right, correct? Was it Lincoln Way East?
No, that was Wheaton South in 2009.
Okay, right.
Lincoln Way East was 12, yeah.
All right, because I did that. That was one of the hardest hitting games I've ever seen in my life, was that game. I could feel the hits up in the press box at U of I. And speaking of your defense, when I think of Glenbard West, I think of
the hitters.
A great defense has been your calling card since you guys have been there, and an outstanding defense again this year. 71 points given up this year. Kind of talk about the defense a little bit, and you got a great one in Chris Tarek.
Yeah, I think defensively for us, we haven't given up more than a touchdown. We've given up only one touchdown since week 3. So we haven't given up more than 2 touchdowns since week 3 against Oak Park. And the kids have just played, a great assignment football. There's not a whole lot of, off the charts talent, but the kids run to the ball well. They're physical. They're tough, and they're really smart. And they get themselves in the right position. So, we've been fortunate enough to have a strong defense in that regard. And, I think we have 5 senior defensive starters, maybe 6. And it's been big because the other side of the ball, we have one senior starter. Yeah, we're really, really young. And, there's times when we'll have 3 or 4 sophomores on offense out on the field. So the defense is, obviously more experienced and all that. So, yeah, I mean, it's like you said, it's our calling card. It's what we do, but we're also a team that wants to be able to, pound the ball and be able to get the hard yards. And I thought we did a good job that last week against Oswego.
Yeah, you talk a little bit. You talked about the offensive side, and Joe mentioned Chris Tarek, who is an absolute beast. And I made the comment about, the last time I heard about a young Glenbard West player and the kind of buzz was Tommy Shutt. And I'm hearing that same kind of stuff coming about with Chris Tarek for a while now. And, things worked out okay for Tommy. Had a nice career at Ohio State. And, Chris, and Chris is that level player as well. And it really hit me this week when I was going through your stuff and I go, wow, are they young on offense? I mean, you got guys like one of your players I love on your team is Joey Pope. I mean, this kid does everything. You got, Juju Ellens, you've got Ty, your quarterback, and you mentioned Chris Tarek. You got to be real happy being that young on the offensive side. And then what I'm wondering is, did you switch some things up? Because it seems like all of a sudden the last few weeks you might have found a little magic here offensively.
We've kind of got into a little bit more of our traditional run game. Against Oswego, we felt like we needed to go back there. I think maybe as a coaching staff, we put too much on these young offensive guys, and again, and not just, it's 100% the coach's fault. I mean, we're used to having 8 or 9 seniors. And I guess that, these guys are just coming out of COVID and they're really young and it took them a while, but, they're working their tails off. They're just young and there's a lot of really nice talent. You talk about Tarek, and Tarek had a day against a really nice Oswego defensive line and was, we just ran behind him a lot, and the other kids did a good job. And, like you said, Joey Pope does a lot of things, but we had Jason Thomas, who's our senior fullback, had a nice game. He had been banged up, and now he's back healthy. And so that's a big part of it when our fullback's healthy. Our Jack Mollering is a sophomore running back that we've had up and played in downers and got banged up, and now he's back. He's another kid I like a lot. And then Jack Oberhofer is a starting middle linebacker, but he had 2 touchdowns against Oswego and played in the backfield as well. So, yeah, we're just kind of, I guess running back by committee right now and trying to get, some bigger bodies in there. And, I do think we're getting better every week offensively. I just think that, we come out of LT and we played a really good defensive, the Hinsdale Central team. And again, the games we've lost, we've we've turned the ball over, and we've had penalties. And so I feel like we've been our own worst enemy. But, you know, it's a great group of kids for sure.
People a lot of times bag on Saturday day football, and rightfully so, because in a lot of schools it's just a downer of an atmosphere. But you're playing on Duchamp Field on your home games on Saturday afternoon. Your kids find another level when they play there on Saturday. I mean, they come out and they embrace it and they thrive to play on that field. And you know it, Chad, your teams is just a different mentality when they come out on Saturday. How do you make sure that travels Saturday night?
Yeah, that's a good question. But really, for us to play under the lights is a treat. You know, the kids want to play under the lights, but they also want the mystique of playing on Duchamp Field. You know, when they were little kids, they were over there by the lake playing, pickup games during the games. You know what I'm saying? And they watch the kids come down the hill. So there's the mystique about that, and they know that our fan base on Saturdays really shows out. But to be honest with you, Edge, our kids love playing under the lights. You know what I mean? Like we actually have a better record on the road than we do at home in the last 15 years. And it's, most of our success has come on turf and fields with lights. So I think that it's kind of a bonus to them, you know what I mean? From that standpoint, I mean,
do you think they just zero in more? Do you think they're more focused because of that? Because they know that they're away from home and they've got time to really just zero in on that? No other distractions at all?
Yeah, I think so. I think 100%. I think you're 100% right. I also think that our offense and defense lends itself to a surface that's a turf surface. I know you were just talking about going down to Springfield and seeing their grass. I mean, it's the same thing with Duchamp. Like, it's a tough playing surface, and when we have speed, it's really accentuated when you're playing on turf. And we've had a tremendous amount of success playing on turf field.
Dude, your home field is like a golf course compared to Springfield Memorial Stadium. Trust me on that one. Trust me. I will fully tell you right now, there is a world of difference between Duchamp, your surface. I don't care how beat up it is right now. It's that much better. It's that much better. All right. I got one more ridiculous question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh boy. Yeah. I didn't like that response. Here we go. So we just finished with Halloween. There's still remnants of Halloween candy hanging around. What was your go-to candy when you were a kid, or even now? What's the go-to?
It's a Kit Kat. It, without a doubt. It's the only time of the year I eat it. I think I had 10 last night. I think I had 10 last night. I can't stop eating them.
I know.
The single wrap Kit Kats. I ate a bunch of them.
Yep. I'm going to fill you in. And by the way, that is a 2 thumbs up choice by everyone in the studio, by the way. That is a solid.
You didn't
solid
stick
choice.
all the wrappers in the couch, did you, Chad? You threw them away, right?
I put them back in. I put them back in there so my son thinks that they're actually Kit Kats still up.
Good job.
Nice. So I'm going to give you a pro tip, and I very seldom do this, but when I want to treat myself, have you come across the big Kit Kat?
Oh yes.
Oh,
absolutely.
Dude.
I mean,
dude, freezer and those big Kit Kats. Oh my Lord, that is some good eating right there, my friend.
Edgy, I'm going running out now to get one, man. Maybe that's going to help us. Maybe that's going to help us against that tough beat out there and down in Lockport.
Pal, you're the best. Great to have you on. Wish you the best of luck Saturday. Okay.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Take care.
All right, good luck,
All right,
Chad.
Chad Hetland joining us from Glenbard West, and again, tough team coming to Lockport. There's no doubt.
Yeah, this is going to be, I think, a marquee game too. I really do. And defensively, like I said, they're calling card, and again, you can't turn the ball over. Lockport did that a little bit last Saturday night. You cannot do that against this team. On the other hand, a younger type offense, they can't do the same thing against that Lockport defense.
And Lockport fans are going to wonder, what's the big deal with Glenbard West, and how are they this good? It's all about attitude. That team comes out with an attitude. They want to come out and they want to smack you in the mouth, and they do it. And these quote unquote rich kids from Glen Ellen, I tell you what, they don't play like it. They play hungry, and they're
very tough.
That's Chad and that staff. They get those kids ready week in and week out, ready to go. So that, Joe, is going to be a tremendous game.
Yes, for sure.
On Saturday. Evan, I'm sorry. It looked like you were going to contribute something. Just hanging out?
Just hanging out.
All right. We're going to step aside and take a break. Well, we go from one eventual Hall of Famer to probably already a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Dave and Sarah, head coach of the Maine South Hawks, will join us. This is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
I'm Penny, and I'm a Will County senior. After my husband passed, I was looking for ways to be involved in something again. So I signed up for an exercise class at Senior Services, and on the first day, I met my new best friend, Sharon, who then demanded I come to the monthly dance. Oh, I haven't been dancing in years, and it was hard at first, but everyone was welcoming and inviting, and now I go every month.
If you are a Will County senior, we'd love for you to join us for one of our upcoming events, like our monthly dinner and dance. For information on that and other events and services, visit willcountyseniors.org. Senior Services of Will County connects resources, information, services, and programs for those over 60 and those who care for them, keeping them safe, healthy, and independent. We're here to help Will County seniors. Call us at 815-723-9713 or visit us online at willcountyseniors.org. Again, that's willcountyseniors.org.
Breaking news here on 1340 WJOL. I'm Evan Bredesen here in the WJOL newsroom. We want to make you aware right now that we have learned that Interstate 80 westbound from Chicago Street to Larkin is currently closed. This is due to a shooting investigation, we are being told. As a result, the westbound entrance ramp at Center Street is also closed. Once again, Interstate 80 westbound from Chicago Street all the way to Larkin, traffic is closed due to a shooting investigation. Traffic is backed up all the way from 355. We'll keep you posted right here on 1340 WJOL. You can also get all the latest information online at WJOL.com.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart, or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
So you're getting some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered? Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They are a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reducheneinc.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
If you're thinking of selling your home this holiday season, this deal is too good to pass up. Hey, it's Monica from Slocum in the Morning. And my friend Brent Wilk from Wilk Real Estate is offering a flat listing fee of $3,000, regardless of your home's value. You'll pay a flat $3,000 listing fee. You can save thousands by listing with Brent Wilk of Wilk Real Estate. Don't wait. This offer expires December 31st. Call Brent Wilk of Wilk Real Estate today at 815-230-5356 or go to ChicagoAreaHomeExpert.com.
It's a tradition. It's a passion. It's a way of life. High school football in Will County runs through the blood of sports fans everywhere.
Week 2 of the playoffs, WJOL has a doubleheader. Friday night, Class 4A, Joliet Catholic entertains Wheaton Academy. Then on Saturday night, it's 6 and 8A grudge match between Minooka and Lincoln Way East, live from Minooka. High school football, the playoffs, presented by Tire Tracks USA.
Tune in to 1340 WJOL next Monday morning for Will County's Habitat for Humanity, Building Homes and Changing Lives. Hosted by members of the Will County Habitat for Humanity. Topics during the show will include affordable housing in Will County, how to become a Habitat partner, where Habitat is building in Will County, and ways you can get involved on their construction sites with their Restore and their upcoming events. Will County's Habitat for Humanity, Building Homes and Changing Lives will run 2 Monday mornings a month from 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m.
High school football on 1340 WJOL.
And welcome back. It is the round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. Will County's News Talk Sports, EDGYTIM, along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero, and Evan Bredesen, the sheriff, spinning the dials. Guys, let's go right out to the phone lines. Excited to bring in someone I've had the pleasure of knowing for quite a few years here. And Joey's one of the tops. There's no doubt one of the top coaches in the state of Illinois.
For sure.
And again, just welcome Dave and Sarah from Maine South. Dave, appreciate you taking some time to join us.
Hey, thank you, Edgy. And Joe, thank you very much. And really happy to be on.
Well, I think one of the greatest parts of the state playoffs is you get together, and the thing I love about 8A and 7A is the 1 through 32 seeding. So the odds are you're not going to play a conference opponent. You're actually going to play someone you know absolutely nothing about. You get to know them, get to be their friends, and then you beat the bejesus out of them on game day. So kind of your take on this as well?
It is, but, for us, we ended up playing our conference opponent.
Yes.
We played the week
well,
before,
I know.
right?
I know.
In the first round, but now the exciting stuff happens because yes, you get the unknown opponent.
Is there ever a possibility we can actually look at that as a sport and try to do something about that? I know it's harder. I guess it's harder to complain, Dave, when it's a 1 through 32 seeding, because if you want to stick to the seeding, this is how it falls. But God, I would love to see that change, at least in the first round.
The 1 through 32 is tremendous, and obviously it favors and is workable in the 7 and 8A classes. There would have to be just so many asterisks, I think, because would it be a conference opponent? Would it be a common opponent that you played during the season? So you would have some flips and flops there.
I just hate the conference thing. I would just love to see. And again, I realize you're probably going to, let's face it, you're going to make somebody mad if you move someone up, want someone down based off that. But I mean, you talk about maybe making the playing field a little bit more fair. I don't think that's way out of line asking for something like that.
No, I think it could be looked at, could be reviewed, and especially maybe like the point system. Hey, if 2 teams are the same points, then go with Team A is not going to play their conference foe. They would flip with Team B and just make that switch. I don't know.
Dave, when I think of you guys, I think of, offense is your calling card. You guys play good defense too, but offensively, to me, that's your main calling card. I got a question, with the COVID and the time off and all this, the other stuff that entails with the COVID, and your offense to me is one of the most intricate passing games in high school football. Were you guys allowed to work out at all? Like even get in the weight room?
Charlie Bliss, our offensive coordinator, he and I have been together actually for 31 years, but on the varsity staff for 21 years. So it's been not only a great connection for the two of us and, just knowing what each other wants and our feels for the game. But obviously he does a phenomenal job. And yes, we've been a great offense for all those years that he's been the offensive coordinator. In the off season, we ended up, because of all the other sports, with both coaches having to coach the other sports and obviously players playing the other sports for the first time this year. We did not start up in June.
we were still in the weight room for the guys that weren't playing sports, but we waited all the way until July to get started with actual summer camp. So time away, you know, the kids were playing other sports or we were doing our things, strength and speed wise. But maybe that time away. And I guess we had just finished our season, end of April.
Right.
So
yeah,
it really wasn't that much time away, and we could jump right back into the playbook on page, you know, halfway through, because their memory was that much better with only having 2 months off instead of 7 months off.
Yes. And again, Dave, there weren't a whole lot of benefits from the spring season, but I think if anyone really benefited, I think it would have been Rowan Keefe.
Absolutely. You know, unfortunately for Luke Leongas, who's playing at Tufts University outside of Boston, Luke had a tough injury towards the end of the season, and Rowan was able to get 2.5, 3 games in a very competitive football, win us a conference championship, and then take on a very tough Naperville Central team. So it was kind of a playoff atmosphere in those 3 games that he played. So yes, that absolutely prepared him, obviously for the summer, but for the season ahead.
I love one. There have been a lot of good things, Joe, that have come off the Edgy Free Football Board, but one that has, and one that remains to this day, the legacy.
Yes.
They nicknamed Maine South Swagger High,
Yes.
which Dave, I don't know if you like it or not. I love it. I just think, I think it gives an aura to your program, and I certainly feel in a positive way. Your quarterbacks always seem to have that swagger / confidence. And Rowan's one of those kids. Is that developed? Is it a personality trait? How does that happen? And I mean, you've had some great quarterbacks in your program and have been a big part of that. How does that come about?
Yeah, Charlie Bliss has helped develop the quarterbacks, you know, from when they come in. They just get a lot of training. We've got good coaches at the under levels as well, knowing that, hey, the quarterback is a key to our system. So that's a responsibility on me to make sure there are guys there at the freshman and sophomore levels to coach them as well. I think it's a development of not only growing up in Park Ridge, where last weekend, I believe there were 48 football games.
Wow.
For the youth. Now, a lot of that is flag, but those kids are growing up.
Yep.
And, you know, they're coming to our games, and then the next morning they're playing, and you can hear them saying, hey, I'm Rowan Keefe, I'm Mike Sajenko, I'm the Maine South Hawks. And it's just tremendous in our community, their love for and support for football and for Maine South football. So I think it starts there. And then the quarterbacks know, you know, it's on their shoulders. And just watching all the guys from the past, they realize that, hey, they better have a little swagger because they've got to get the job done.
Yep, no doubt about it. Coach, what do you see from Plainfield North? Obviously a team that we cover in this area. What kind of challenges are they going to present for you this weekend?
You know, I see a disciplined, hard-nosed football team. They do not make many mistakes. They play good football for 48 minutes. You know, I really like their quarterback and obviously their running back. They're gritty guys. It's not spectacular, but man, they're tough to bring down. They run their offense very well with discipline, and that keeps you unbelievably balanced on defense. You have to cover not only the field, you got to cover run, you got to cover pass, you got to cover inside, you got to cover outside. So that stretches your defense a bit.
You mentioned during the spring season and COVID, you had coaches coaching other sports. Was that maybe one of the hardest aspects for you, is, you know, asking those guys to continue into the spring when, now, let's face it, they've got responsibilities elsewhere. They've got families. And did you have much turnover? Because let's face it, you mentioned Charlie and Joe. By the way, the funniest part of Charlie and Dave is seeing how often people get the two confused, like media guys. It's funny to watch. It's that was that like at least once a game, probably someone comes up and thinks Charlie's you or you're Charlie. It's got to happen all the time.
And believe me, Charlie will jump in and say,
I know.
Yes, I am coaching Sarah, and he'll readily do the interview.
Yes.
do the interview, and I'll be like, "What did I say?" And I don't know if it's that we look the same, but we definitely we've been together for a while, and you kind of grow to be like each other, right?
Was it having those guys make that sacrifice in the spring? That had to be tough. And did you have changes to the staff at all?
We actually, I wouldn't say from COVID. I'm a very flexible coach. I really work with my athletes. I really work with my coaches. Several of my coaches on the varsity level are businessmen, so they're coming to practice from work. So, at times they're late, and we start practice with maybe 3 coaches, and then we get our 7 or 8 by the middle of practice. Same with the players. If I'm doing that with my coaches, one of my guys had a big lacrosse meeting last night. As long as they're communicating with me and I know ahead of hand, I usually give them the thumbs up and say, get your work done while you're here and head out. I've got 2 hockey players that had to skip a practice this week, and hey, that's fine. And then they're going to play the actual hockey games during the football. That's fine. When you're here, you put your work in, you are fully focused. But on the coaching aspect, only because of a couple guys stepping away, not so much from COVID, just the proper time in their life to be with their families. Coach Tumulty, one of our underlevel coaches, phenomenal. He's got 3 kids playing college sports, 2 at St. Francis.
Yes.
2 at St. Francis doing really well, the Tumulty boys, and his daughter's at Carroll College playing soccer. He found it really hard, and his son is the starting quarterback at Willowbrook. He found it really hard to, miss some of those games. So he stepped away, which then started a trigger. I actually made 10 coaching moves.
Wow.
I've never had to do that.
Yeah.
I've made 1 or 2, and this spring, going into the summer, I made 10 moves, and fortunately, it worked out very well with 4 conference championships, 1 at each level that we play at.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing the success your program has had and continues to. And well, there's no doubt, pal, you've had a heck of a lot to do with that as well.
Yeah, yes.
I won't ask you when you're going to hang this thing up and go enjoy the rest of your life, but do you have a date in mind, a year, a time in mind when you might start thinking about that?
Yeah, when you get to be in it, be the head coach for 21 years and, been there since 1990, that question starts to arise a lot.
Yeah.
And let's just say coaching-wise, haven't given it a whole lot of thought. Teaching-wise, that's something else because that's just the profession.
I agree.
I got one sitting next to me.
I love teaching every day. I do not want to give up teaching, but the system we're in and the state, what we have, it's hard to pass up on some of those numbers. So it's coming fairly quickly on the teaching side, but coaching wise, man, I love what I do every day, and I don't see that, especially when I walk the fields on a Saturday morning, and literally, I swear, 48 games were being played across our town.
Yeah.
And, it's just, it really gives you a great feeling of pleasure and joy. And, you want to keep that going.
Well, Coach, I've got a guy sitting next to me here every Thursday night that is in his first year of retiring from teaching and is still coaching. Joe, is it going okay for you?
Dave, it's terrific. When you just have to worry about grandkids and coaching, it's terrific.
Well, you got to worry about grandkids. I still have an 8 and a 10-year-old. I'm sitting at my daughter's 10-year-old basketball practice. So
you're welcome. You're welcome for the distraction.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got to worry about them for the future in college and all that. So
there's no doubt.
Yep.
Pal, always appreciate it. Always great to talk to you. Wish you the best of luck this weekend, and go get them, man. Always enjoy coming up to see you guys. You guys have always been way too kind to me, and just best of luck, pal.
Hey, it's going to be a really tough ball game Saturday afternoon at Wilson Field. They're a gritty ball club, and we're in for a match.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Good luck, Dave.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Edgy. Appreciate it.
All right, Dave and Sarah joining us from Maine South. And again, guys, there's a coach that, man, you look at the success he's had and the sustained success, and that's what's the goal. That's the key right there. That there's very little drop off from them from year to year, and it's different players and different kids in and out. Same success.
I mean, just for me personally, you know, I've talked about it before, my time in high school at Joliet Catholic, and one of the constants was when I was there 3 of the 4 years, we ended up going to and winning a state championship. But also during that time, 3 of the 4 years I was there, the same years, Maine South was in the 8A title game with Sean Price and all of those teams. And that was back in the days, by the way, where they were running kind of this intricate, almost gimmick-like offense where they throw and they go up-tempo.
That'll never work.
I mean, it's an interesting gimmick they figured out, but you can't have long-term success with an offense like that. And now we look around football and we're like, oh, it actually wasn't a gimmick. They were just 20 years ahead of everyone else.
Yes.
Literally 20 years ahead of everyone else.
And
I mean, it's remarkable.
And it is so funny. Dave and Charlie Bliss get confused all the time. And I've literally seen Charlie do a full interview as Dave and Sarah. It is such a fun staff. Seriously, his core guys have been with him forever. And Charlie is the architect of that offense and does an amazing job. And Charlie's a retired firefighter. So
I mean, all you have to do is look at his record. He took over in 2001.
And
he's made the playoffs every year.
Fair, took over a program that really made a lot of steps up under Coach Hoskins. So the table, and he'll admit the table was kind of set, but he took it and just ran it to a totally different level.
Yeah, Phil Hopkins. I mean, the guy won a state title his last year. Dave and Sarah takes over the next year. And don't forget, when he got started, he had a run of making the state title game, but not necessarily being able to close it.
Yeah, they were
the
Buffalo Bills there for
3 seconds in a row where people were like, you're going to get this thing done. And then you had 08, he gets it done. 09, 2010. He does it again in 2016. So he's been to the state title game 7 times. That is just remarkable.
We don't want to forget, Evan, you had some breaking news before we go to break here.
Yeah, we did want to let people know we are following a situation right now on Interstate 80. You can read more on our website, WJOL.com. Interstate 80 westbound closed right now from Chicago Street to Larkin. We are told this is due to police activity. There is a shooting investigation between the Illinois State Police and the Joliet Police Department. Again, this is Interstate 80 westbound currently closed. Chicago to Larkin due to a shooting investigation. Traffic is solid all the way from 355.
No shocker there. So again, try to get off anywhere you can on 355. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. We'll wrap up this edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
How time flies when you're having fun, or at least trying to have fun. In 2020, we lost a season, and while we will never be able to get that back, the Malloy State Farm team is happy to be back on board with EDGYTIM and Coach Rodriguero as the title sponsor of the Pigskin Preview. So here's to the players, the coaches, and the parents who have been waiting for this moment. Give it your best effort. Make it memorable. And on Monday, give the Malloy State Farm team a call at 815-463-5800 to get our best effort at saving you money.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, neighbor. Well, time for maintenance on my furnace. I gotta find the best price.
Not just the best price, you need the best service, too. You don't want to be without heat in the middle of winter.
Okay, so who do you trust?
I've been using Roscope's Heating and Cooling for years. They always do my heating maintenance, and Roscope's goes above and beyond and will check all the gas-fired appliances in our house for safety. Not just your furnace.
Like my stove or clothes dryer or water heater too?
Yep, Roscope's checks all of the above and of course thoroughly cleans our heating system. They'll make sure it's safe and ready to go, and my winters are stress-free. Well, for my furnace anyway.
Will they clean my garage while they're at it?
You're on your own there.
It was worth a shot. I'm calling Roscope's Heating and Cooling today.
Or go online. ROUSCULPS.com. That's ROUSCULPS.com. Start saving money today.
Keeping your tax information safe keeps your business safe. That's why Greg Severson at Cordano, Severson & Associates goes above and beyond to keep your business tax information private. This includes keeping everything he does local to our community. There's no outsourcing services overseas like the big firms do, or storing sensitive documents in places where online hackers have easy access. And Greg Severson has taken multiple measures behind the scenes to protect his clients from tax identity fraud. Give yourself peace of mind for your business. Call Greg Severson at Cordano, Severson & Associates. Beyond keeping your business safe from tax hackers, Greg will set you up for the ever-changing business tax landscape to give you the best tax advantages. Call Cordano, Severson & Associates, a firm you can trust and your business can afford. Co-founder and proud member of the Will by Local Alliance. Do you have tax prep experience but are tired of making the commute downtown? Cordano Severson is hiring qualified tax professionals. Inquire today by calling 815-744-1900. That's 815-744-1900.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The best football in the state plays right here on 1340 WJOL and WJOL.com.
All right, we're wrapping up the round two edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. EDGYTIM with the coach, Joe Rodegaro, Evan Bredesen. Rapid fire brackets, Joe, you ready?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I got an announcement to make.
Oh, boy.
There's somebody's birthday coming up. I believe it's on Saturday.
Moi?
It
is.
It's his birthday, and if you're looking, I got his
nice.
cake. Yes. I got his Portillo's.
Show the camera. Show the camera.
Portillo's chocolate
The
cake
best.
for my man.
And it's not lemon, it's chocolate. Get out of here with your lemon cake.
There's one for Evan.
Joe, you're too kind.
The man.
I'm benefiting off someone else's
birthday.
birthday.
Joe, I love you for this. I will not eat it here. I will eat it at home with a glass of cow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just waiting to get home and so I can eat it in front of my wife.
That too.
Tell Jen I apologize.
All right. No, not at all.
It's my cake.
We wanted to.
She wasn't here.
All right. Rapid fire brackets. Ready?
Go.
Class 8A. Loyola at Naperville Central. I got to go at Loyola.
Me too.
Lincoln Waste to Minooka, Joe.
I'm going to go Minooka.
Ooh. Well, in that case, I'll go with East, but I might agree with you here, Joe. Lockport, Glenbard West.
Boy.
I know.
I'm going to go with the Porters.
I got to go with the home team, but that one scares me a lot. Warren, Glenbard North. This game scares me a little bit. Could be very close. I will go at Warren, but this is going to be a tight game.
Yes.
Could the final score of that game be 3-2?
Or 2-0, possibly.
It could be.
Over at 7. South Elgin at Marist. No, Marist. Glenbrook South at Hinsdale Central. I will go at Hinsdale Central.
Yes.
Neuqua Valley at the biggest question mark of the year, Palatine. I don't know what team's showing up in Palatine. Who you got, Joe?
I got Neuqua Valley.
I will go at Neuqua Valley. Maine South hosting Plainfield North. Love you, Plainfield North. Maine South, too tough at home.
Yes, they are.
7A, ready?
Go ahead.
Batavia, Mount Carmel, Joe.
Boy, oh boy. I'm going to go with Batavia.
I don't want things thrown at me or evil looks. I will go with the home team, Mount Carmel. Brother Rice at Yorkville.
Rice.
I'm going to say Rice, but playing in Yorkville, that home fan base is going to be fired up.
Oh, God, yes.
Brother Rice, defense scares me, but Joe, I think Rice gets it done.
Yes. I think there'll be too many. They won't be able to stay with them.
Point for point if it goes. Yeah, that's my concern too. Hoffman Estates at Wheaton North. I like this Wheaton North team a lot. Hoffman's a good team, Joe. I like Wheaton North.
Yeah, so do I here.
Upset alert. I believe Willowbrook at home will beat Moline.
Ah, okay.
Pekin at Rockton Hononegah. I will go with the home team, Hononegah.
Okay.
St. Rita at Geneva. Geneva, a nice win on the road last week. The path ends this week.
Yes.
Hit them high, hit them low.
Yes, I agree.
Normal Community at Jacobs. Joe, upset alert. I'm going with Jacobs.
Okay.
I've seen Normal Community play. I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Prospect at Buffalo Grove. I think Buffalo Grove gets them this time.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
6A. Cary Grove at Grays Lake Central. Love you, Mike Maloney. Not happening.
Nope.
Cary Grove. Deerfield at Crystal Lake Central. Closer than most things. I like Deerfield. Joe?
All right, I'll go with you.
Prairie Ridge at Wakanda. Prairie Ridge.
Yes.
Lake Forest at Harlem. Closer than you think. I will go at Lake Forest. Lamont at Springfield. The Dream Ends for Springfield.
Yes.
Lamont.
Yes.
Richards at East St. Louis. No. East St. Louis. Crete at St. Ignatius. Joe? Upset alert. Crete Bonnie gets the win on the road.
They're good. If Iggy can control the ball, that's the only thing.
Washington at Champaign Centennial. I love Champaign. I don't love them more as much as Washington.
No, I like Washington.
Class 5A. Sycamore. Evan, let me know on time. St. Pat's. Fenwick. I'm going to go at Naz, but Marmion scares the bejesus out of me.
All right.
That's the game I'm covering, by the way, at 1 o'clock Saturday. Kankakee over Morgan Park.
Agree.
Mascoutah over Marion. Morris over Morton.
Yes.
I'll go Muhammad Seymour over Troy.
All right.
For our friends in 4A, we love you. We never want to forget you.
No.
The Hilltoppers advance over Wheaton Academy.
Yes.
St. Francis close over Genoa.
Right.
Stillman will lose to Richmond Burton.
Yes.
Phillips over Kewanee, but Kewanee at home scares me.
Okay.
Rochester gets the win over Paris.
Yes.
Carterville, I will go Freeburg actually over Carterville. It doesn't matter because you're both getting eliminated the next week. Murfreesboro over Breeze, and that doesn't matter because they're getting eliminated the following week.
Yes.
What else, Joe? Let's go through 3A since we're doing this. I like Byron over Lyle.
Yes.
I like Reed Custer over Clark.
Yes.
I like, I'll go with Princeton over Prairie Central.
Yes.
This game will be close, but I think IC gets to win on the road.
Okay.
Tolono over Paxton Buckley Loda.
Nice.
Williamsville with a win. The Golden Aces of Mount Carmel with the win. Monticello with the win. 2A. Wilmington advances.
Yes.
They will play Bishop McNamara in the quarterfinal.
Yes.
Should I keep going or no?
No, we're good.
Tri-Valley and Farmington. So if you're Wilmington fans are looking ahead. There you go.
And that Bishop Mac, if it all works out, Wilmington will be at Wilmington?
Yes.
Yes.
What a game that would be.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
I'm reserving seats now.
I'm going to tell Jeff right now, I'll be in the press box if we do that game across the field.
I'll tell you right now, I'm sure Wilmington would push for a 6 o'clock kickoff for that game because that game, as we talked about, will be monumental. Seriously, it'll be a huge game. You know, Rich and Addie, last year, everybody's going to want to do it.
If we happen to do that game, I'm going to be down there at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
There's
no doubt.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I saw on your site some proposals. They
some weird ones.
Expanded the playoffs to 48 with a week 9 bye.
Told you it's coming.
And then what prevents a team that gets a bye to play a game? Nothing, right?
No.
Okay.
No, they can, but I don't know if it's going to fly. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
That's the only one. The contact days down to, what was it, 25 to 20?
25 to 20. Yeah, that's kind of been coming anyway. I don't think the coaches are really that concerned with it.
It only goes down 5.
I have a topic I'd like to bring. I know we only have about 5 minutes, but I wanted to get your gentlemen's thoughts on this because it was a big topic of conversations on Edgy's board. I don't know if you guys saw it. There was a high school football game in California last week where a coach ended up winning 109-0. His quarterback threw, I think, 13 touchdown passes.
Yes.
He kept his starters in the entire game, and they were leading, I believe, 42-0 at the end of the first quarter. The officials came to him, this head coach of this team, asking him
do they have a slaughter rule?
They do not.
No, there you go.
And they went to them and said, we want to start the running. Well, they have a running clock, but they said, we want to start the running clock now.
Yeah.
This team said, no, it's not supposed to start till the second half, so it won't. And they proceeded to win this game 109-0. And afterwards, their response was kind of, hey, you should have stopped us.
Hey, Joe.
And he went for 2 points on
Correct.
on one of the.
Would that be a scenario where maybe you give a referee the ability to overrule or to make a judgment call on that and say, you know what, from a safety standpoint, we're going to start a clock? Can you see that possibility?
Yes.
I can.
Or throwing a flag on their offense every play.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just to say, look,
you're exactly right.
Look, I'm on this field. This is not going where it should be going. We're going to start the clock.
It caused a big topic of conversation on your board because there were some people going, hey, it's sports. The other team should stop them if they don't want to score. And there were other people saying, this is high school athletics. This is not professionals. There's something very different about scoring 109 points on a pro team and 109 points on 16 and 17. So I was curious, Coach, your thoughts, because I'm sure you've been on both sides of blowout wins and blowout losses, kind of how you manage that as a coach.
I've been on both sides of it. And when you're it's the 10-run rule, of course, in high school baseball, when you know you're up by 10, 11, 12 runs and you can beat the team, you call the dogs off.
Yeah.
You put pinch hitters in and you go with that. God rest his soul, Ron Shaper, the guy who started the Lamont Mustangs. I refereed actually 1 year with Gene Hugg, God rest his soul too. And they were playing a team in New Lenox, and I was the side judge on his sideline. And they were beating somebody 3 or 4 touchdowns. He came up to me and whispered in my ear. He says, our offense doesn't score another touchdown. He says, just throw, if we have a long run, call a block in the back or a holding call. And that showed me a lot of class on his part.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew he had the team beat. And he says, I don't care what you call. I don't want to score another touchdown.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
I saw that and I just,
when is enough?
Well, and it's also the reason I bring it up is because you see it got brought up on every ESPN debate show and every sports talk radio show. And it's the only time they seemingly talk about high school football is when there's a bad story like that.
And I'm not one of these, I think the point is we got to get to the point where we got to continue to encourage playing. That doesn't encourage anybody.
It doesn't.
And that's what we need to look at. I really do.
And if I got 30 seconds, it happened to me. I'm not going to mention the team, but when I was at Joliet Catholic, it was like a Twilight Zone inning. The team scored 14 runs on us, and they were beating us 15-2. We might have scored a run in the top of the 4th. The first guy up for them, the bottom of the 4th inning, drag bunt for a hit.
Wow.
So after the game, our guys were going up. I just stayed calm. Believe it or not, I stayed calm and cool, Edge. I went up to the coach after the game, and I says, remember this. He goes, I don't have to apologize for it. I said, no, you don't have to. But remember this. Every dog has his day. And then that day came in 1994 with my state championship team, and we drubbed them twice.
There you go. Payback. All right. Thanks for everybody for listening. This has been the Round 2 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's news, talk, sports, and chocolate cake.
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
The Abri Credit Union Studio.